What's up YouTube, Dale here from Zephyr War Games, and today I am bringing you an update to Kragen Control. So this is actually a very powerful anti-meta deck, and it all revolves around this guy right here, number 4, Stealth Kragen. Now the idea is that you get to sit on Stealth Kragen by using a lot of level 4 water spam cards, and you can back it up with stuff like Bahamut Shark into Toad. You've got access to Zeus, you have access to pretty much the strongest control and one of the strongest power play XYZs around. If you want to see more from this deck, if you want me to go into a full-on deck and discussion breakdown alongside combos, then make sure you smash the like button and get it to at least 50 likes within the first 24 hours, and I'll be more than happy to bring that video to you. Other than that, we're going to dive headfirst into this video and go from there. Shout out to Wise Guys YouTube and of course Bortle. I looked at both of their profiles as well that they put up, and there was a couple of little texts that I really liked. Tried them out in the deck and it worked out really well, and I'll explain them as we go. So you start off with the core card for the main deck, and that is of course Buzzsaw Shark. Now the reason this is so important, and to highlight how important it is, we are technically in theory playing like 7 copies of it, because obviously our Beautiful Princess as well gets into Buzzsaw. But Buzzsaw targets a level 4 fish on the board, including himself, and then special summons one from the deck with a different name and negates its effects. The reason the Beautiful Princess is so good is because when it's normaled or specialed, you banish this card to special a level 4 or lower fish from the deck, so it just gives you into Buzzsaw. This is actually a really expensive card right now because it's only had like 1 print. So if you don't have access to this, or you've got access to fewer copies, you do have other options in the form of the Peri Resi map that can search this out as well. This should be due a reprint. Like I believe the OTS, OCG OTS have just revealed that they are getting this in their next OTS set. So maybe we're going to get this in the new OTS in January as well. So keep your minds out on that. Do not go and break the bank and spend 45 quid on like a rare. It should start to slowly come down in price, but right now it's crazy high unless you are fully committed to playing this deck. Then going on with the rest of the others, we do play the one right-hand shark. The reason this is so good is because an XYZ made with this card provides it with the effect that it can't be destroyed by battle, which is really important. But off the back of that as well, is if you control no card, you can special summon this card from the graveyard, and you banish it when it leaves the field. But if you use it as XYZ material, it's not going to get banished, so you're in a good stead there. We then play a stack of extenders. Now, the extenders can vary depending on the type of build that you're going for. So I've gone with the triple Tenyi Spirit Shitana. Now, the reason I've gone with this one is, again, it's like if you control no monsters, you get to special summon it for free, and then it is obviously a free level 4 water. If you're not a fan of this and you're actually like, well, I don't like cards that require me to have no cards to do anything, you can go for other extenders, or you can bump up the extenders that I'm about to show you. So for the other extenders, we've got double Silent Angler, double Silent Sea Nettle. You should probably be playing 3 of this, but at the moment, I'm trialing out double Ice Jade, Tremor, and the reason I've gone with this is I saw this on one of the Wise Guy videos, and basically you send this card from your hand to the grave, and then you get to special summon a water from your hand. So it gives you more ways of getting into your Beautiful Princess without using its without conducting your normal summon. It gets you into Buzzsaw. It can let you special summon down an Angler without using Angler's effect, which can set up a White Mirror effect as well. It also lets you bring down Nettle without using Nettle's effect, so that if you open up with 2 copies of these, you're actually in a very good stead, because you just send this, special this down for free, and then if you've got the other one, you special it for free as well. So the reason behind this is all about being able to make either a Nibiru blocker in the form of Shark and Toad, or going into Kragen without conducting a normal, meaning that you can make more plays or bait out more interruptions. While we are in the form of extenders, the other 2 extending cards we do play is the one instant and the one ready fusion. You only have 1 target, so you're only ever going to really resolve one of these, but the idea is that you want to see it as soon as you can. You could bump up ready fusion if you wanted to, but it's one of them things that you're only going to resolve once, so you're just adding an additional brick for a little bit of consistency. If, and I'm going to say this now because I do actually play Desires in this build, if you have access to Prosperity, I would probably advise playing Prosperity over Desires, just because it ups your consistency factor that little bit more, which is really important. Keep in mind as well that the Sea Nettle actually gives you a combo to shuffle your waters back into the extra deck, meaning you can loop the Stealth Kragen plays. Off the back of that as well, keep in mind that your Silent Angler does become a combo on itself with the fact that you normal summon this along with a White Mirror, normal summon this, turn it into an Almirage, activate White Mirror to special summon back the Angler from the grave, add in the second copy of the Angler from the deck, special summon said Angler you've just searched, and you can go straight into a Kragen control play from there. I'll show you that at the end. It's very, very basic and most people should know it by now, but just to have everything in one video, I will do so. Then for the hand traps, now you should really be playing Triple Ash Blossom. This should be Triple Ash Blossom. I couldn't find my third copy, but Triple Ash Blossom and Joy Springs work just as well. Arguably, if you're massively worried about Fusion Destiny, you could bump up Ghost Spell, but it should be Triple Ash. The only other hand traps that we do play are Double Imperm. Again, you can put this to 3 if you want to. I've just kind of gone with a 3 and a 2 because I'm also playing 2 Forbidden Chalice. So I've kind of gone with hand traps, and then if my hand traps aren't going to do enough, I've got 2 board breakers in a sense as well. Moving on to the rest of the spells, we are playing Triple White Mirror. This card is actually crazy good, only when you can set it up. So if you can't set it up, it's a bummer, which is why I've seen a lot of people say, well, I actually might want to cut this to 2. To them, I would say don't stick with it. So the idea is you get to target a level 4 or lower fish in your graveyard, special summon it, then you can add 1 monster from your deck to the hand with the same original name as the monster special summoned. You can only activate once per turn. Now, this is really good as a follow-up play or like a continual play for turn 2, because if you've got a Buzzsaw in the grave, activate this, bring back the Buzzsaw, search out a Buzzsaw, normal the Buzzsaw, get an effect. Other than that, you do obviously have the Silent Angler, which is going to be your most direct play because it just gives you a free extender off of itself, and Buzzsaw is your route to get Silent Angler from the deck. So you open up Buzzsaw plus White Mirror, you're in another very, very good space. Then again, shout out to, I believe it's Steven on Bortal's channel. He was playing Fury of Karyushin, and I actually like the idea behind it. So the idea of Karyushin is it searches you out one of your free torrential tributes, and keeping in mind that if you're going with Kragen control, you're actually going to go and make that play so if Kragen gets destroyed, it gets the effect to bring out the Kragen spawns. So the idea is you're going to use Stealth Kragen's effect to pop a card, then you're going to nuke your own Stealth Kragen with Torrential, and then you get to special summon Stealth Kragen spawns from the extra up to the number of materials this card had. So even if you bring out 1 or 2, it still gives you recursion, and if your opponent is naturally playing waters anyway, you're going to be able to pop them off as well. Off the back of that, being able to put the Rage of Karyushin in the grave, it does mean that if your Waters monsters would be destroyed, you can banish this instead. So it does mean that even if you want your own card to be self-destructed by your own Torrential, you can protect it first, and that will be something that I guarantee you a lot of your opponents will forget or not even consider. You'll just be like, right, okay, activate this, add the Karyushin, they'll be like, yeah, cool, whatever. They won't check out the second effect, and then you'll be able to protect your monsters when you need to. Carrying on with the spells, like I said, for the draw cards, we are playing Double Desires. If you do have access to Prosperities, that will, of course, be a massive upgrade for consistency. And then we've got the 1 for 1 and a Call by the Grave. Obviously, trying to protect your combos as much as you possibly can. And then the 1 for 1 is, of course, going to be for your beautiful princess. The final trap card we play is Gozen. This card is mad. So if you've got your Stealth Kragen on board and you flip Gozen on them, your opponent's monsters are all water thanks to Stealth Kragen. You flip the Gozen, as soon as they put a monster down, that is it, they are locked. Unless they're able to get into waters themselves, they cannot do anything. They are locked with that 1 monster on the board. And then as soon as they try to pass the play in the end phase, you can use your Stealth Kragen's effect to pop that card. And then you're basically just being able to build your board up, go in for the OTK and win the game from there. So it works incredibly well, which is why it is called Stealth Kragen Control. Then we're going to look into the extra deck now. We play 13 XYZs to be exact, and we play 1 Link and 1 Fusion. Now, obviously, the Fusion is quite self-explanatory, comes off of Instant Fusion and Ready Fusion. The Almirage is actually really important. So it's one of them very, very rare times, but you'd rather have it and not need it than need it and not have it, is when you open up a Silent Angler with a White Mirror and nothing else. Very rare that it happens, but when it does, you want to be prepared. So what that does, it allows you to normal summon the Silent Angler, link it into Almirage, then you get to activate White Mirror, target the Angler in the graveyard, special summon it, to then special summon the Angler you've just searched off of White Mirror, and that gives you instant access to either a Shark, to a Toad, or it's going to give you access to go into a Stealth Kragen. So if you've opened up, for example, let's say a Torrential Tribute, plus a Gozen match, plus a Imperm, and then you've opened up White Mirror and Angler, you still unlock your protected combo, which is really important. Going on with the XYZs, let's start with the most important ones of all, and that is, of course, double stealth Kragen number 4 and double stealth Kragen spawn. So this is what the deck revolves around. This is why the deck is so powerful and consistent right now, and a lot of rogue players are actually doing really, really well. When you look at most of the decks online, they are all from regionals or high-ranking events. So Stealth Kragen makes all face-up monsters on the field become water, and then once per turn during the main phase, quick effect, you get to destroy it, non-target, a water monster your opponent controls. And if you do, inflict damage to your opponent equal to half its attack on the field. If his XYZ summon card is destroyed, you get to special summon Stealth Kragen spawn from your extra deck up to the number of materials this card has, and you get to attach a water monster from your grave to each of those spawns. Very, very important. Now, the Stealth Kragen spawns, unlike Stealth Kragen itself, does not turn all of your opponent's monsters water. But what they do is, during the main phase, quick effect, you get to destroy, again, non-target, a water monster your opponent controls. If this card's special summoned by the effect of a number XYZ monster is destroyed, you can special summon other Stealth Kragen monster from your graveyard up to the number of materials this card had. Then you get to attach up to one water monster from your graveyard to each of those special summoned monsters. Now, obviously, the idea is that you're just going to float from your number 4 Stealth Kragen to your spawn. And then the spawn is going to get destroyed and you're going to go back to the Kragen. So if when... the reason this is doing so well is because a lot of people don't actually realise that or don't know that. Not to mention the floating effect of your right-hand shark, which is very important for a card coming up later on. But the idea is that gets destroyed, brings out this. Gets destroyed, brings out this. But in between that, this has popped a card, this has popped a card. So they're having to deal with at least 2 interruptions and a floatability of this annoying Stealth Kragen. Your other important cards, of course, are going to be your double Bahamut Shark and your double Toad. So if you have additional extenders, if you have additional plays, then the idea is you want to go Shark into Toad to protect you from plays, and then you go into a Stealth Kragen and you're in a very good position. Very straightforward and standard. These, as a rare, again, have gone up in price. So it's one of these decks you want to be building if you already have access to them, or if you know someone that has them already. For the other rank 4 waters that we are playing, because you do lock yourself into XYZs through Buzzsaw, and you lock yourself into waters through the Silent Nettle, is the Abyss Dweller, and of course the One Hope Woven Dragon Spider. I actually really like this one. So again, it requires 2 level 4 monsters, but when any player's monster declares an attack, you get to detach a material from this card. All monsters your opponent currently controls lose 1,000 attack until the end of this turn. When this card is specifically destroyed by battle or card effect and sent to the graveyard, you get to target one other water monster in your graveyard and special summon it. So again, it's very important that, for example, let's say they do out your Stealth Kragen and you're still sitting on the Torrential, you go, I'll wait, activate Torrential, get rid of this guy will then bring back the Kragen, and then it locks them back on the Gozen. So very, very important, very, very powerful route that way. The last rank 4 we play until we get into the boss cards is the one Crooked Cook. Now, again, the reason this is seeing a lot of play is because of right hand and left hand shark. So there is that little combo with right and left. So right means it can't be destroyed by battle, left means it can't be destroyed by card effect. And the idea is that you can just sit under this card, do whatever you need to do, lock your opponent out. So its own effect is while you control no other cards on the field, this card is unaffected by other card effects. Now, obviously, when it's made with right hand shark, it's an inherent effect that it's being given. So it's not actually its own effect that it's going to become unaffected by. It will still be a lingering effect, which is fine. Once per turn, during either player's turn, you can detach a material from this card, destroy as many other cards you control as possible. Then this card gains 300 attack until the end of each monster destroyed by this effect and sent to the graveyard. So there's 2 ways of doing this. You can sit on this in defense, detach, destroy, gain, detach, destroy, gain, or you keep the materials on it, your opponent can't get past it, you wait until you're ready, go into a Zeus, clear a board, off you go, thank you ma'am, done. So there's a lot that you need to kind of consider when playing this. You don't want it to be your only win con, which is why Kragen is more important than Crooked Cook, because the best use of this is to make it with right hand shark, and obviously be able to make it with right hand shark means you're not going to be able to use the Sea Nettle, because it is a fire. Then moving on to the boss monsters, of course, we do have the one Utopic Future, the one Draco Future, and then, of course, the one Zeus. All of these share their own individual appliances. So Utopic Future gets you into Draco Future, a card that can't be destroyed by battle, and just being able to constantly steal and negate your opponent's stuff, which is really, really nice. And then Zeus is just an out-and-out board clearer, especially when you're able to build Zeus or build your boards with minimal resource. clear a board, and then go again. So Zeus is just there to be able to clear everything off. It's a pain to deal with, and then you're able to build your shark and toads and all of that back up. And that, ladies and gentlemen, is the update for the Stealth Kragen deck. By all means, use this as a template. It is not the perfect build, but it is still a very, very powerful build, and it is a very, very interesting build to utilize as well. I'm still working on said perfect build to try and see what works best for this particular deck, but I've had a lot of fun with it. My opponent hasn't had so much fun, but it has been very, very powerful, and definitely a surprise package that, if you've got some of the expensive pieces, is very easy to build. Anyway, thank you so much for watching. Like I said at the start of the video, if you want to see combos, test hands, duels, or even a full-on discussion breakdown, make sure you smash that like button and get it to at least 50 likes, and I'll bring that for you. As absolutely always, guys, stay safe, and of course, happy dueling.